Seeking love? Let's dive in together. Welcome to Radiant Romance, my journey to true love. Join me, Christine Howard, as I navigate the twists and turns of finding my soulmate with grace, ease, and joy. Don't miss your chance to be front row with me in this exhilarating journey. Tune in and be inspired to manifest your own radiant romance. Welcome to my Captain's Log special. This is extra or bonus recording that I'm bringing to you because I just couldn't wait to work it into an episode. It was one of those really timely things in my life that I wanted to bring to you as soon as possible because it's a really rich topic. Let me dive in. There's something I've noticed, and maybe you've noticed this as well in your life. When we say yes to a goal, a dream, a calling, such as calling in our partner, stuff comes up. We get triggered. Old things start to bubble to the surface, and we might be frustrated or upset, often feeling that, oh my gosh, here's yet another obstacle that is holding me back from having my guy or gal, or why does this stuff keep happening to me? And, honestly, sometimes we can go into victim mode about it. But here's the thing I've realized is that these things are bubbling up for us, or we're being triggered because we're being given the opportunity to grow and evolve into that new version of us that is vibing at the place where our partner comes in. And so I've really noticed for myself that when I get in that uncomfortable place, it is a gift for me that I can face, I can work through, and on the other side is some growth and some clearing and a whole bunch of good stuff that is part of my journey of calling in my partner. And interestingly enough, I just wrote about this in my newsletter. So it's so timely. And so today, I want to share when I had a really big trigger. It happened over the new moon and eclipse energy. And for 4 or 5 days, I was kind of churning around the washing machine a little bit. And I had triggers, I had uncomfortableness, I had some tears, I did some reflection and conversations and just was really with myself. And again, committing to being willing to face whatever it is that comes up. And so I recorded, when all was said and done, I recorded this really pretty deep and vulnerable captain's log. And I will say, while I'm sharing it with you now, I at first was a bit hesitant because it is a vulnerable topic for me. And it may not seem like it's on my path, but I think everything is on my path. How I eat is on my path. Am I eating healthy or am I eating crap? Am I exercising or not exercising? So ultimately, I decided to share this with you. And my hopes is that you can see kind of what it can look and feel like to face a trigger, and then the beautiful gift that can come out of it. So from my heart to yours, here's my new moon eclipse captain's log. Captain's log, Wednesday afternoon, April 10th. I am sitting here in my cozy blue chair after a big writing session, offloading some powerful insights that happened over the last 36 hours. And we're just one day outside of the new moon and eclipse energy. And it was definitely a bit of a ride of emotions for me in the context of relationships, and specifically one relationship that I've been stirring with and not and journaling about, but I'm really feeling called to witness what's unfolded for me in this captain's log entry. So this beautiful man that has been in my life in varying capacities, over time, off and on, my mind has wanted to figure out what our relationship is. A couple years ago, I went to the intuitive healer and got guidance or information, wisdom that we had a past life together. There was some unresolved or unfinished business, and it didn't appear that he was gonna complete it in this lifetime. Just saying what she said. Not saying she was right or true, but I know there was definitely some kind of familiar connection from the moment that I met him. And there have been layers and layers of learning and growth and unfolding that I've been blessed to experience because of this connection. And he's definitely been a big catalyst in my life, and probably, if I would admit it, part of what has brought me to this place where I'm ready to actually call in a partner. And yet, he is still in my life, and he's come in and out of my life. As I know, he's come in and out of my life, and there's this part of me during the eclipse and new moon that really wanted to know, like, what the hell was going on here? Like, what are we? What's, if we have unfinished business, what is, I'm like, my mind was like, what is that? And I am so grateful for how everything, just in this magic of my life, how I am sitting here now with peace and clarity on how, not the relationship, nothing's changed there, but I have clarity on how I am going to navigate my life. Renewed clarity, more embodied clarity around how I'm going to navigate my life. And that has given me so much peace. So it was such a trippy, I get 36 hours. So my emotions, the waves coming in, feeling agitation, and yet sitting with it, being in inquiry, asking for guidance, having then in the last 36 hours, that was what was so powerful. Because actually I started feeling things on 5 days ago, before, at the edge of the new moon energy. But the last 36 hours of me just being patient and surrendered and open and in inquiry and as much out of my head as possible, what unfolded was just pure magic. So I had my call with Andrea in the UK, and one of the bits of wisdom she said was, you'll know when your divine partner comes into your life, you'll know it. There will be, like, basically, my interpretation was, there will be no question in your mind. But then she did say, are other men that are coming into your life here to distract you? And because you're really going with your desires versus staying firm in your vision, staying firm with faith in the vision for the long-term partner. I kind of didn't like that, truthfully. I heard her, I listened to her, I received it, and I sat with it. But the hit on my body was, it didn't feel good. Then I had my theta healing with Tammy, and that was amazing. Clearing a bunch of stuff from my sacral chakra, which she said, she didn't know what was going to unfold, but it ended up being in my sacral chakra, which she said makes sense given my intention for calling in a partner. And at the end, I was sharing kind of the bigger picture of my life right now and my journey. And this relationship came up, and in her intuitive wisdom or hit was that, and I don't have my notes in front of me, but I'll just say it this way if I remember right. It was like, it's energetically, it's like a distraction. So she was kind of, if I remember right, reinforcing what Andrea was saying. Again, I don't have my notes in front of me, so I could pull them out if I wanted to, because they're right in my hand here. Let me see what she exactly said. Oh, it's wrong journal. I have 2 journals going. As we know, I'm very prolific with my writing. So no, I didn't write it down. All right, so we're going with what I remember. And again, the thing was, in her mind, it was maybe not the best if I really wanted to call in the partner. So then, but I just sat with that. So then yesterday evening, I had a super fun deep dive meetup and dinner with this new friend. And part of the conversation circled around to, I'm desiring to call in my sacred partner. And, oh, by the way, if there's somebody else in my life, do you think that mucks things up? And we talked about all kinds of things. I'll save some of this for another conversation because I don't want to get off track here. But one of the things she shared with me that I just really, I want to record because it really resonated with me is that she knows herself, and she just put the stake in the ground a while ago that said, this is who I am. And it's kind of like, my thought was like, take me or leave me, right? Like, this is who I am, and how powerful it is when we own who we are. And that resonated because I think I needed to be reminded to really own and claim myself. Despite, when these waves come up and I want to maybe abandon parts of myself. And another thing she shared too was like, what do you want, need, and desire in the context of this relationship? And I know that at times there's things that I've expressed, but I will say, I think there's maybe a little bit of inquiry that I could sit with, to tap in and feel like, no thinking about it, but just, is there a want, need, and desire that I haven't expressed? So that's the piece that was, that's the nugget that was coming up for me, is just anything that's unexpressed. Because that's been part of my journey, is really expressing what's true to me. And then, sharing again, like, is this going to muck me up? And her point was, kind of, maybe it will, but maybe you still, but maybe you're still going to call your partner in. And the key from the rest of that conversation was, there's no one right or wrong way to do this. Like, she kind of wrapped it up with saying, what feels right for you in the moment, and follow that. And if something doesn't feel right, then drop it like a hot potato. And I like that. I'm like, all right, I'm going to take that with me. I'll just drop it like a hot potato if it doesn't feel right. So bringing it again back to me, what am I wanting, needing, desiring? What feels good for me? What feels right and true for me in the moment? And that is truly the best place to live from. And again, I was like, I know this stuff, but those 3 conversations helped me to like start to embody it more. But then it was amazingly cool what happened this morning. Like, I was laughing at the gym, and so grateful that I came back to my captain's log and wrote down these nuggets. So I was feeling called to listen to the Magnify Yourself YouTube show. And when I started listening to it, it was freaking spot on to what I was feeling and sensing, and all the messages that were coming to me. And so I recorded in here some of the key nuggets. And did I talk about the unfinished business soulmate thing? Well, if I didn't, I'm going to talk about it now. So one of the first things that jumped out is that unfulfilled soul contract. So that resonated. I think this person and I have some unfulfilled, some business still to do together. And I am meant to surrender to the process, focusing on my own self-growth and self-healing. That felt true to me too. And this was funny. When we see external trappings of a relationship and connection, it gives us something to constantly chew on. It gives our mind something to constantly chew on. And boy, I've done that in the context of this relationship off and on. Not recently, but I started to kind of go down that rabbit hole, wanting to have answers and have things figured out. And I guess that truly is just my ego. For sure, it's just my ego wanting to feel secure. And so the next note was, rather focus on your internal growth, your expansion, your progress toward your personal goals and dreams, your connection to your own internal sense of unconditional love. There's that unconditional love thing again, coming back, being reminded, bringing it back to me, again, what's true to me, what's right for me. That really resonated with the conversation last night. And maybe not so much with the first two, but I think it does relate in that it's only a distraction if it feels like it. So don't make it up in your head. Don't say it is just because of some old conditioning. Just stay tapped into, what it's feeling. And I know my intuition is super strong, and I have come to build this beautiful relationship with it and believe it and trust it. And yeah, if I'm sitting here, it doesn't feel like a distraction. It feels like more to explore. And again, just more to explore. So I'm just going with that without any other story around it. I loved this part, because one of my fears is, am I going to get my heart broke? Am I making a mistake? Am I going to hurt him? Yada, yada, yada. And before I read this, at dinner last night, my friend shared the story of the lobster, and how the lobster, when it outgrows its shell, it cracks. The shell cracks, and it has to shed that shell and hide under a rock for a while till the new shell starts to grow. And then it has a bigger, more expanded shell. So part of this conversation was, are you willing to have your heart broke or get your heart broke? And my initial response was, well, my heart said, no, I don't want that, but then my ego said no, but my heart was like, you'll mend and you'll learn and you'll grow from that. So, in life in general, in any relationship, I'm, not that I would want that for myself, but if that's part of my journey, then I embrace everything. And embrace the uncertainty, embrace the uncomfortableness, embrace the messages coming to me. So I am freaking embracing these messages. So when you expand, those connections will either expand and evolve with you if they're meant to be carried to the next plane, or they will dissolve out of your life naturally, automatically, and effortlessly. So that kind of, to me, answered my heartbreak question. Like, I feel like all this angst that I was kind of carrying during the last few days, especially, is gone. And I am in a place of reconnection to myself, my intuition, to my wants, needs, and desires, just being in the present moment, just doing the things that feel right to me. And yes, using discernment, but forget trying to muck everything up with like being in my head. So that's my, feels good. I feel super anchored and super grounded in this, this afternoon. And then she wrapped it up with, and just like my friend did, with dropping it like a hot potato. So follow my intuition. And if at some point I'm getting a message or guidance some way, then just trust that and follow that. So that's where I'm at. I am absolutely committed to being present with the beautiful relationships that are in my life and for the purpose that they're serving. And I'm absolutely on my journey of calling in my divine, compatible life partner, soulmate. And I want to talk about that in another. I'm not going to do it now because my brain's feeling a little fried after that story, but I'll leave it with that. That's my captain's log for now. Here's the thing. Our triggers can be scary. They can be super uncomfortable. They can kind of put us in this little fit of a younger version of ourselves. And I want you to know you're never alone. Whether you reach out to me or a friend or a book or a recording, I encourage you to really take that deep breath and face it. There's so much power for you in your journey of manifesting your partner that it's truly worth the uncomfortableness in the moment. So I'm here with you, my friend, here with you. Okay, so to wrap this up for today, I want you to know, coming up in the next episode, I'm super excited that I will be sharing my actual dating profile. I will be showing you how I am showing up authentically, weaving in those things that are most important to me in who I am and the life I desire to have and the partner I desire to have. So I'm going to be bringing nuggets from a recording as well as the exact my profile. I'll be showing you screenshots of here's how my profile is set up. Also coming up soon after that will be Jonathan Asley, the dating coach. I have an interview coming up with him, and I know there's going to be so many amazing nuggets coming out of that that I'll share with you, and just super excited to be bringing that and to be meeting with him and getting some of his wisdom. So, all right, my friend, my dear radiant romance journeyer, that is today's Captain's Log special. I am wishing you the best today and always, not only in your journey of finding your partner, but in your journey of life. I look forward to seeing you again in the next episode. Bye for now.